Hey folks, welcome to the slightly off the cuff master solo. Just kind of rustled it up here. Hopefully you've seen Vine Satchvai's new song, I Want to Play My Guitar, which was released I think just before the weekend. I think I watched it then. I did a quick transcription of that and put it up on Patreon, but I thought, why not do a kind of quick kind of master that solo and look at what Satch and Vi are playing in this awesome kind of dual guitar solo that they're doing. So our first little thing starts off like this. So Satch and Vi are playing unison here, and they're doing a little simple kind of tapping idea where I'm tapping at the 16th fret and the high E string there, and I'm going to pull off and do 9, 12 in the high E string. You can think of like a C sharp pentatonic minor here, or an E pentatonic major, but I've got that tap, tab 16, 9, 12 in the high E string, and then I'll do the same thing in the B string, tap to B string, 16th fret, pull off 9, hammer 12 in that B string. So that's kind of 6 notes there to your beat, or 2 little triplets. That's 1, and you get 4 of them a bar. So you do that for 2 bars. Then what I'm going to do is take that tap at the 16th fret, move it down to the 14th fret. Yeah, again, you do that kind of for 2 bars. Then I'm going to jump up and do 21st fret. But you want to do that for 1 bar, and then you move down and tap at the 19th fret for 1 bar. Yeah, and then we go back to the 16th fret and do 1 bar of that. Then I'm going to do 14th fret, but I kind of do it for like a half bar, so I do it twice basically. Yeah, and then once I've done that, I slide that there, so you kind of have this, it goes. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding up from that 12th fret to the 14th fret with a bit of vibrato. Yeah, then you kind of slide off for the rest of it. So, next little bit sounds like this. Yeah, so with this really cool octave kind of split part between Satch and Vi, which is kind of, it's one of these things you would say, oh, that sounds very Satch, but then sometimes you think, oh, that sounds very Vi. This is this thing that's so cool about the solo, because you can hear, obviously being former student teacher type thing, all these kind of influences that are common between them. But what we're doing, if I look at Satch's part, he's playing an octave on the A and the G strings. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm going to slide basically to that 4th fret of the A string there, and I've got 6th fret the G string there. I'm just kind of sliding into that. You can think of sliding from the 2nd fret, but I'm just kind of sliding into it. Slide back without picking any strings. Slide up to the 4th fret again. And then as I slide from the 4th to the 6th to that 7th fret, I'm going to dip the bar. Like that, which gives you that cool kind of bendiness and the kind of sound. Now when Satch is doing that bit, Vi is basically playing up an octave. So if you think of where you started here, with your 3rd finger, 4th finger in the G string, 6th fret, he's got 6th fret that G string, and then 9th fret of the thinnest string, the high E string. And it's the same rhythm, but you're sliding from the 1st finger like 6, 4, 6, 8, 9, but again with the little bar dips. Then you kind of continue up. So Satch now, we go back to his part, he's up, you kind of hear. So I'm now going to slide from the 7th fret to the 6th, to the 7, to 9, to 11. But again, you do that. You do the little dip as you do the ascend up at the 9th and the 11th. And Vi's doing up an octave, so we're up at the 9th fret here, so it's 9, 8, 9, 11, 13. Yeah. We have this cool little bit where we're going up in little steps. So what Satch does, he does 6 to 9 slide, then 9 to 11, then 11 to 13, and then 13 to 14. Yeah. And you've kind of got a little gap through that as well. then we end it off with this little kind of, the kind of Vi part of the, he starts at the 6th fret, it's 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 11, 11, 13, and they both end it off with a little harmonic. So I'm doing a natural harmonic, 7th fret high E string, 7th fret the B string, and then 5th fret that B string, and then 5th fret the high E string. Yeah. So, next little bit sounds like this. So here we have a cool little descend down. It's like a C sharp kind of pentatonic minor here. So we bend up 12th fret at the high E string. Again, they're doing that in unison. This is all unison here. Bit of vibrato. Then you're going to play this little triplet run, but the pattern that you're doing starts off kind of shifted, so it's like 5 notes to begin with, like that. This is what I have this kind of weird displaced kind of feel to it. So what I'm doing there is 9th fret. So if you think of just seeing a C sharp pentatonic minor here, 12 9 in high E, 12 9 B, 11 9 on the G, D, A strings. Yeah, I'm going to start that 9th fret because I've done the bend. 9th fret the high E string, so I go. So I'm doing 9, pull off 12 9 on the B string, pull off 11 9 on the G string. Then I'm going to do 12 9 pull off on the B string, 11 9 and 11 9 on the G and the D strings pull offs. So you're doing like 6 notes there. Yeah, and then the next bit is 11 9 11 9 11 9 on the G, D and A strings. Then I do 11 9 pull off on the D string. Then I'm going to pull off 11 9 on the A string and slide back to the 7th fret, the A string there. Then I'm going to do a pull off 9 7 on that A string now. And then it sounds like on the video you can see kind of I stay here and Satch jumps down there. Obviously the video is going to be different from how it was done in the studio, but there's 2 ways you can do it. Either from doing this pull off, go down to the 2nd fret and slide 2 to 4 on that A string, maybe the way Satches do it, or you could do it 7 to 9 on that little E string. And then it sounds like a little pinch harmonic there. I did wonder if it was like a tap harmonic, but I think it's just a kind of a pinch. It's with that kind of note there. Yeah. So that's a kind of little kind of descending run. Next little bit sounds like this. So we have something that's definitely, to me, more Satchy kind of little run. If I look at what Satch is playing, we're going to be doing all these little kind of pedal note pull off ideas on the top string, and we're following. It's interesting here. If we're thinking like old Satch pedal pitch tone or pitch axis type stuff, you can think of this almost like an E Phrygian thing. Or you can think F Lydian. So what you've got here note wise is you're going to be doing a little kind of pull off 15-0, 17-0 on that high E string. This is Satch. Yeah. Then I'm going to do a hammer 15-17, pull off the 15, open E string. Like that. So you can think of a little 8-note kind of grouping there. Then Satch moves down and plays 13-15. So 13 pull off to the open E string, 15 pull off, and then 13, 15, 13 pull off to the E string. This is the, even though the chord you're going to hear sounds like that. Yeah, so that's what we've got. Yeah, then what I'm going to do is descend down. So he does a little 12, 13, 12, pull off the open E string. Then you're going down the scale, 10, 12, 10, pull off. Then you've got 8, 10, 8, pull off. Then you get 7, 8, 7, pull off. Yeah, so that kind of goes. Yeah, and then what Satch does here is he does 6-0, pull off here. So this is another kind of chord. You've gone from this chord to this chord by the sound of it. Which you could say is like an from E Lydian, if you're thinking kind of pitch axis sort of stuff. But what we're doing is a 6-0 pull off, 7-0 pull off, and then 6-7-6 pull off to open E. Yeah. Then I'm going to do 7-0 pull off on the B string, 5-0 pull off on the B string, 7-0 again, and and then 6-0 pull off on that high E string. So you're outlining from this F sharp point of view, that's like the third, that's the root, that's a flat 7. So, you know, F sharp mixed Lydian, E Lydian, you know, don't really get bogged down in the theory, but that's the kind of notes that we're kind of doing there. So it's like, yeah, and then in the next bar, or this last bar, we do the same thing, 6-7, pull off, 6-0, 7-0, 6-7, 6-0, 7-5 on the B string. And we end at the 7th fret, that root note, that F sharp. Yeah, so that's your kind of Satch part there. So it's like, yeah. So what Vai is doing on top of this is playing like a third above. So when you're doing like 15 here, Vai's up at 19th and 20th fret. So he does 19-0, 20-0, and then your 19-20 pull off 0, then 17-19. Yeah, and his little descent down does 15-17, 13-15, 12-13, 10-12. And then he plays, when Satch is doing the, you're doing 9-12, and then 9-12, 9 pull off, then 11-9 on the B string, and then 9-0 on that high string, and then 9-12, and then 11. He ends in that 11 inch. You can see it's a major third above that note there. Yeah, it's a kind of Thin Lizzy third kind of interval. Yeah. So next bit sounds like this. So this bit here, we were kind of on an F sharp. This is kind of like a G. Kind of harmony underneath here. So it could be, you can think of the notes from kind of E Dorian here if you wanted to, again, think of it like that. But basically what we're doing is now Satch is going to be doing like a 15-17 pull off there. So that's how he starts it. Then you've got 14-15 hammer pull off to the open E string. Then you do that again, 14-15 pull off, and then 12-14-12 pull off. Yeah, so it's like, so it's a slightly different pattern. And then we're going to descend down 10-12, 9-10, 7-9, 5-7. Yeah. And then he does his little 6-7. We change back to that chord again. So he's done the 6-7, 7-5-7-6. And then he ace ends up here 7, 9, 10, 9, 12, 10. And then you've got a bend at the 14th fret. Half step, bend there. End up in that kind of 12th fret there. Then I'm going to do 15, 13, 12 in the B string, 10th fret at the B string, and then slide 10 to 12. And then slide it off into the 5th fret to kind of end it there, so ending on that E. Yeah. So Satch is basically doing again the kind of third, Vai's doing the kind of third above again. So he's like 19 and 21st frets, and then he does a hammer and pull off 17-19, 17-19, 15-17, and then he descends down 14-15, 12-14, 10-12, 9-10, and then this time when he does his little kind of like down here, he's 9-9-0, 10-0 on that E string. And then 9-10-0, 9-10-9-0, sorry. And then 11-9, 11. And then he jumps up to the 14th fret here. I think he does, in the video, I think he may jump up to the first finger here, or fourth finger, and then move to the second finger. But he's doing 15-0, 17-0 on the B string. Then you're doing 14-0 on the high E string. 17-0 on the B string. And then 15-14 on that high E string. And his bend is at the 17th fret, so it's like a minor third above where Satch is doing it. Yeah, and then you end the 17th fret, slide. So he slides. And this is interesting hearing Satch and Vai playing the same little melody. Vai's got a little more articulations with slides and bar dips here, so he does a slide 17-15. And then he does, 13-12 in the high string. And then 15 in the B string. And then I'm going to, as you slide up to that kind of 17th fret ending note there, you do a little bar dip with the sounds of it, yeah. And then you slide back to the 12th fret for the last note. Yeah. So, that's it, guys. It's a little bit of kind of off the cuff thing, just kind of going through the various parts. As I said, you can come over to this Patreon. You can get access to the free Sound Slice tab for this, where you can see the video and see the animated tab playing along with it if you want to learn Vai's part or Satch's part or whatever. But it's a really cool solo because it's just Satch and Vai doing it together. It's not the most technically demanding solo they've ever done, but it's just the fact that it's the two my major heroes just jamming away, looking as if they have the ball all the time. You can imagine them doing this for hours on end and stuff when they were, younger on Long Island and stuff. So it's just really cool, for me basically. So have fun with it, guys. As I said, come over to the Patreon. You can get the tab for that. And if you've not checked out the video, please go on and check it out. It's good fun. Okay, so enjoy. See you next time.